Welcome to the City Show. Pat O Melia here. You there? That's why I do the show. 'Cause you're there, waiting for me. So I do the show. It's like an obligation I have. We're here to inform you, educate you, maybe entertain you a little bit. The City Show is all through Hudson County now. We're in Hoboken, we're in Harrison, we're in Secaucus, Kearney, all the boulevard communities. So we're getting a lot of exposure. The bottom of your screen there, it shows you how you can get in touch with us. Follow us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, download the live stream app. We got our website. Hopefully, by the time this airs, the website will be working, or we're going to have a whole story on GoDaddy on how they screwed up my website. But get in touch. Email works, all that stuff. What we're going to talk about today, St. Peter's. What a run. What a historic run. I've been around Jersey City all my life. Never seen Jersey City with such a vibe before. It was a historic run for St. Peter's. Those kids earned all the accolades they received and all the accolades they're going to receive. They earned everything. They are truly champions. It was definitely the biggest sports story in Jersey City history. They knocked off 3 top-seeded teams during the run. Just Sunday, they couldn't get the ball to drop. They maybe were rushing a little bit. They weren't getting the best looks, but the shots, they were just clanging. Unfortunately, there are days when it's just not your day. But they are definitely champions. You don't get to the tournament unless you're a champion. Like I said, surely the biggest sports story in the history of Jersey City. I know we had some things over the past that were good sports stories, but nothing like this before. Those kids, the university, all of us will never forget this run with St. Peter's. It'll live on forever. They will be champions forever. Too bad we couldn't bet on St. Peter's here in New Jersey, because I would have definitely won 3 out of 4 games on FanDuel, and that's a pretty good percentage. Jersey City Mayor Steve Fulop is planning a parade, keys to the city, all that stuff. I'm sure the parade will run along Montgomery Street, probably starting at Montgomery, finishing at City Hall, or vice versa. Good idea by Mayor Fulop. Again, thank you, St. Peter's Peacocks, for the memories, the excitement over the last couple of weeks. You've earned everything you're going to receive. What we're going to talk about today is school sticker shock in Jersey City public budget. We're going to talk about the plastic bag ban that starts in May, and we got quick hits. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Jersey City Medical Center is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County because your heart doesn't beat just for you. So get it checked. When your bones are healthy, it lifts us all. We're delivering joy daily in our Lord Abbott Maternity Wing and providing New Jersey's only NCI-designated comprehensive cancer center. We'll continue building our medical network and taking every precaution for your safety so that we can all be healthy together.
Stevens Jersey City Ford, certified parts and service located at Route 440 and Communipaw Ave, is your #1 source for Ford and Lincoln automotive needs. We use certified Ford Motorcraft products to keep your Ford running in top shape. Motorcraft parts are backed with the Ford warranty, which includes a 2-year unlimited mileage guarantee. Our team will have the right Motorcraft part to ensure the best performance from your Ford or Lincoln. You can order in person at the parts counter or online. Let us help keep your Ford or Lincoln in the best shape at Stevens Jersey City Ford.
We're back. Pat O Melia here, City Show. Also, if we get to it, got a lot of info today. Quick hits. We're going to talk about a repaving project in Bayonne. We're going to talk about the Bayonne election. It's a 3-way dance now. Outdoor dining becoming permanent in North Bergen. And Hoboken's got a lot of dreams. A lot of dreams that are going to cost a lot of money. But first, let's talk about a lot of money. The Jersey City Board of Education has settled on a budget. Now, we were very upset when it was $955 million. We're even going to be more upset now because they finalized it at $974 million. So now the budget goes to the county for approval, then a state, then there's a final vote on it. We're $26 million away from a $1 billion budget in the city of Jersey City. $1 billion. there needs to be action taken before we all have to leave. If you divide the budget, the $974 million, by the amount of kids, it's a little less than 30,000 kids. Actually, it's almost 1,000 less. It's 29,113 children as my last Google search. It may have gone up or down a little bit. You divide that 29,113 into 974 million, you come out, rounded up, at $33,500 per student. Remember we were kind of shocked that it was $32,500? Not anymore, $33,500. That is incredible. That is more than double the cost to educate a student in Toms River. I mentioned this last week. Toms River is like an hour away from Jersey City. Take Turnpike, exit 11 to exit 82, and voila, you're in Toms River. You're about an hour away. Twice as much as it costs to educate a kid in Toms River. And it's a good education in Toms River. They got kids going on to college and becoming doctors and scientists and all that, you know. It's a great educational system in Toms River. And we need answers as to why it's costing twice as much in Jersey City than it does an hour away in Toms River. I'm not talking at the bottom of New Jersey here. I'm talking an hour away from Jersey City. What it's going to come out to, less than projected last time, at $2,400 increase. It's going to be about $1,600 for a home assessed at $465,000. So the $1,600 is down from the $2,400 that I reported on last week. And that is being done with some one-shot gimmicks. They had some cash left over from last year. They had some monies coming in that they didn't anticipate before. All this. And actually, it's kind of trying to pacify the sticker shock of Jersey City because they're just playing with numbers here. In a week, they went up like almost $25 million. We're looking at a difference of $800 a year from the $955 million budget to the $974 million budget. But that $800 is still lurking behind. You can guarantee that's going to be there next year. Last year, Mayor Fulop covered a $1,000 increase with the municipal budget. So you didn't get that hit last year. He can't do it this year. So you are getting that $1,000 hit on top of the $1,600. So we're looking at a $2,600 tax increase this year because $1,600 from the school board, $1,000 that the city can't cover this time. That is outrageous. You know, there was a rent freeze in effect for the last couple of years because of the pandemic. That's expired. So you're going to see some rent increases going on. That $2,600 is going to be passed along. If the property owner has a tenant, they're going to pass that along. As I said last week, stop the talk about affordable housing. There is no affordable housing. When we keep jacking up the taxes for the school, it's going to be passed along to like $300 a month to a renter. There will be no affordable. There can't be when we have an out-of-control school budget that is jacking up the taxes at $1,000, $1,600, $2,400. And you know next year we're going to crack that $1 billion, and that $800 they knocked off, what it was supposed to be $2,400, now it's going to be $1,600. That'll be back next year. So stop it with the affordable. There is no way in hell we're going to have affordable housing if we have taxes like this that just run amok. What we need, and again, we need a forensic accounting of the Jersey City school budget. It is incredible that this thing is just going up couple of $100 million every year. Why is it going up a couple of $100 million every year, causing what it caused? We had a rent freeze. That rent freeze is over. Rents are coming. So if you're in a one family, you're in a two family, or a four family, take it to the bank. You're going to get a rent increase. Because not only from the school board, you got all these fees that went up. Inflation is killing the property owners. We need to understand. We've got to get control. Kudos to Mayor Fuller for holding the municipal budget. But, a lot of the fees went up in Jersey City. So everything's going up. The inflation is killing us. We've got to start to get a handle on the expenses of the school board because, we got a council and a mayor trying to work to hold the budget, and there's another whole side that's part of the tax bill. A lot of people don't realize mayor and the council have nothing to do with the school. They got to have something to do with the school. Why is this? Before we break with commercial, there's a multitude of sins involved with the Jersey City Board of Education budget. There's, of course, incompetence. I'm pretty sure there's some corruption. There are people who were part of the Jersey City Board of Education that'll soon be going to jail for crimes they committed with this Board of Education, authorizing contracts, nobody will pay attention. Well, know what? We are paying attention now. You have to pay attention to this, or we're all going to have to leave. Very few people will be able to afford to live in Jersey City. We got possible corruption. You got piling on of various programs. You got hiring practices. All these have to be examined because you're paying for it. You may not be able to afford to live in Jersey City. Let's break for commercial. We'll be right back.
I've got cancer.
We've got the highest level of cancer care,
the latest clinical trials,
researchers working to find a cure,
and nurse navigators to guide you every step of the way.
At New Jersey's only NCI-designated Comprehensive Cancer Center, your safety has always been our top priority.
I've got cancer, but I also have peace of mind.
Jersey City Medical Center and Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey. Let's beat cancer together.
We're back. City Show. Pat O Melia here. We're talking about the budget that has been introduced and voted upon in Jersey City for the Board of Education, the Jersey City school system. We need, like I said earlier, we need an explanation as to why it's costing more than twice as much to educate a kid in Jersey City than it does in Toms River. We're at $33,500 in Jersey City. We're at $16,900 in Toms River. The average teacher salary in Jersey City, against a Google search, is $73,000 a year. The average teacher salary in Toms River is $67,000 a year. So you got a difference of $6,000. That ain't the reason. That's for damn sure. And when you look at the school expenses, in most businesses, big expenses, either the mortgage you have on your building or the rent you have on your building and taxes. Guess what the Board of Education doesn't have? Doesn't have a mortgage, don't pay taxes. Supposedly, it's been a long time I've been in school. When I was in school, we had like 25, 30 kids a class. Supposedly, it's around 18 kids a class now. So let's use that math. For that matter, I asked to go tour the grammar school I went to, PS 23 school on Broadway in Jersey City. It's a school I spent like 9 years of my life in. I know that school pretty well. I want to see what horrible condition that school's in. I made that request last week from the president of the Jersey City Board of Education. I didn't hear back from him yet. He was going to talk to the facility manager. So we got 18 kids in the class. Let's go with that number for now. I take 2.2 kids at $33,500. That covers the teacher's salary. That comes out to $73,700. Now, the other 15.8 kids at $33,500 is almost $530,000. Where is that money going? What is that being spent on? If 2.2 kids cover the teacher's salary, and I got 15 other kids here at $33,500, where is that money going per class? If I take their budget of $974 million and divide it by the 39 public schools in Jersey City, that comes out to like $25 million per school per year. That's a lot of money per school, especially when I'm covering a teacher's salary with like 2 kids. PS 23, the school I just spoke about, my grammar school, supposedly has 1,363 kids. So I take that math again of 33,500. You're telling me that it costs $45.7 million a year to operate PS 23 school. That is incredible. But that's the numbers. This is their own numbers. Their number of students divided by the budget. Before we're all priced out of Jersey City, and it's coming quick, this is what needs to be done. First, it's for the children guilt trip. Stop that shit. Stop that. Stop the guilt trip. We all care about the children, but we care about money also. And we're worried about throwing good money after bad. We're worried about money being wasted, money being stolen. These are all the things that are popping around in our heads. We need answers to that. So stop the guilt trip. When everybody it talks about the school budget, you hear some of these voices, it's for the children. Who is complaining about the budget? Is it the person in the CASPER who has the kids in the CASPER program? Or, whatever program we're talking about? We got to find out what the expenses are. We need to know that. So stop the guilt trip. We need an appointed board. I need the city and that city council to have say and sway with the Board of Education. The city is sending out the bill. The mayor's getting blamed for it anyway when he gets the taxes. We need it. The buck stops with the mayor of every municipality. We need the mayor and that city council to be very involved in the expenses of that school. We need a school budget that is voted on by the residents of Jersey City. We need the people who are going to pay the bill, whether the property owners and the renters. They have a voice in this because you're the one paying for it. You're sitting at that house right now. You're figuring, how am I going to pay that $1,600 a month rent? Well, guess what? It's probably going to be $1,900 or $2,000. Once everything is released and charged and taxed, those property owners, they got to look at this. The tax increase is going to the rent. 80% of Jersey City are renters. It's not just the property owners, it's the renters. And the property owner, they're not running charities. I got that in the notes here somewhere. They got to pass those expenses along. They're not taking it in their pockets. They're not going to eat this. We're looking at huge rent hikes here, and it's going on every year, and it just gets worse. The school keeps jacking up the budget, $200 million a year. That $800 that they kind of saved you this year, that's coming back next year when we hit $1 billion for the school budget. These tax increases affect the affordability of being a homeowner, whether you're a senior or you're a young couple, you're starting out, or those people just, they're just making ends meet now with the mortgages and taxes and fees and insurances and upkeep on the building, heat, light, and power, water, sewer, all these bills. And you're just going to hit them with another $2,600 a year? You're forcing these people out. Or you're forcing them to pass that along to the renters. But one way or another, that bill's got to be paid. Because if it isn't paid, the city puts a lien on the property. These things have to be addressed. It's not sustainable for mom and pop homeowners. Forget about the affordable housing. There is no affordable housing when we have to keep jacking up. Got away with it for 2 years because of the pandemic and the rent freeze. That's over. Those rents are going to be raised. Even the rent control. These landlords are going to go back saying, look at this. Look what we're getting hit with here. And they're going to get approved. The landlords aren't running not-for-profits here. They're in the business of paying their bills. They're in the business of making money. When somebody invested their life savings to come up with a down payment and to pay a mortgage for a 2-family, a 3-family, a 4-family, they weren't doing it because we want to do something about affordable housing. They're trying to ensure their family and their family's future with that property and that investment. And that's not going to happen if we keep throwing these kind of expenses and just piling it on. Every year, the last 3 years, $1,000, $1,600. They tried $2,400. Believe me, that $800 we got to break on, that's coming back next year with probably another $1,000 attached to it. We need an appointed board. We need the mayor to have say in this because he's going to be responsible anyway. I want that person. I want that mayor to tell me why this is happening. I want to go through that budget. I want to know every nickel. I said before, I'll exempt the teachers. Because obviously, like the math I just said, like a little more than 2 students per class covers that teacher's salary for a year. The other 1,500 kids at 15 kids at 33,500, I don't know where that money is. You don't know where that money is. And it doesn't cost Georgia PS 23, $44 million to run a school? No. We need answers, and we need to see real numbers. All right, we're going to break the commercial. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Jersey City Medical Center has a passion for heart health. We're Hudson County's only full-service heart hospital with innovative technologies and premier cardiovascular physicians, a partnership with Rutgers Health, the latest technology and medical advancements, and nationally renowned care for every heart in every community. Whoever your heart beats for, our hearts beat for you. Jersey City Medical Center.
We're back, City Show. Pat O Melia here, you there? Let's get away from the doom and gloom of taxes into another ridiculous thing. The plastic bag ban starts May 4th, a little more than a month. Now, I'm not a plastic bag guy, you know, so I agree with a lot of this, you know. No plastic or brown paper bags. And the brown paper bags are strictly at the supermarket level. Yeah, I don't understand the brown paper bag ban. You know, it's biodegradable. The forest, they plant the trees specifically to become brown paper bags. So I'm not sure why. And only the supermarkets are not allowed to have plastic or brown paper bags. All the other type of retail stores can have brown paper bags. You know, right off the bat, like I said, I don't understand what the problem is with the brown paper bag. This is some overzealous law we instituted. I'm not a plastic bag person, as I said. I never liked them, but they serve a purpose. What gets me about the ban on the plastic bags, that makes no sense. The last food order I got, now I'm looking at the future, no plastic. About 80% of everything I put in the plastic bag, that ShopRite, were in plastic. All the meat and chicken were wrapped in plastic. With the double whammy, because the bottom of it has the styrofoam tray. All my fruits and vegetables I wrapped in plastic. You know, I eat a lot of cucumbers and green peppers instead of ice cream now. I'm maintaining this girlish figure of mine. All wrapped in plastic. I got my fat-free milk. It's in a plastic jug. I got the coffee mate for my coffee. It's in a plastic jug. Frozen food. All right, frozen vegetables, all in plastic. Everything I put in that bag pretty much is in plastic. This Snapple, Diet Snapple, lemon tea, plastic, which was a good move because the other Snapple packaging with the glass bottles, those were accidents waiting to happen. So thank you, Snapple, for utilizing plastic now. Hot dogs, wrapped in plastic. Gum. Now, I quit smoking, I guess about 15 years ago now. Maybe not that long, maybe 12 years. So I chew a lot of gum now. My gum, wrapped in plastic. I drink Diet Pepsi, caffeine-free. Guess what those bottles are made of? Plastic. In fact, Gatorade. I drink a lot of Gatorade Zero, which just got downsized from 32 ounces to 28 ounces. What's it in? Plastic. I eat a lot of rice. Chicken and rice, sausage and rice, pork chops and rice. Trying to knock off weight. What is Ben's Original wrapped in? Plastic. Bread? Plastic. All this is in plastic. There are tons of exceptions to the plastic ban. So many tons of exceptions, and so many things I put in my bag are wrapped in plastic that it makes absolutely no sense. It's simply one of those feel-good laws that Jersey put through without any thought. But we're all around to save the environment. No, we need to deal with the plastic better. Or, okay, ban the plastic bags, just give me my brown paper bags. I'm a brown paper bagger going back from my youth when I was a bagger at ShopRite. I've been preparing. I've been taking extra bags at the ShopRite, which you can't help when you try to take the plastic bags off the rack. And I also purchased plastic bags from ShopRite. I'm not going to run around with a bunch of reusable bags on my arm going into the store. That is not me. Somewhere along the line, and I'm very positive, we will go back and revisit the plastic bag ban. Because the more you look at it, like I said, 80% of everything I put in those plastic bags were also in plastic. So what are we doing here? Okay, you want to ban the plastic bag? Fine, at least give me the brown paper. But you're not going to do that. I'm just going to get a lot of plastic bags, and I'll keep them in the car. And you can roll them up in a ball pretty good and stick them in your pocket or whatever you need to do. All right, quick hits. The city of Bayonne is about to start approximately a $2 million road paving project. And it's all being done with grant money and infrastructure money. So ain't costing the people of Bayonne a dime. Good job by Mayor Davis. It'll be a three-way dance in Bayonne for our debate on April the 28th. Live at 6 o'clock. We'll do it live on all our streaming platforms and then get it up on Optimum Cablevision the next day. It'll be Mayor Davis, of course, Sharon Ash Nordorowski, and Dr. Mitchell Brown, who we have not contacted yet. We're looking to get contact information on him. In North Bergen, home of my studio, North Bergen has made outdoor dining permanent because who doesn't like eating in the street? I know Jersey City is doing some licensing, and they got to pay a certain amount of money to have the outdoor dining. Over the last 2 years that the outdoor dining has been in place and they built these shanties in the streets, there isn't one that doesn't look like it should be knocked down. I just recently was running around filming in downtown Jersey City. Every one of those shanties that I seen should be knocked down. They look like the health department should walk in there tomorrow. Boar should go down there and just ticket the hell out of them. Yeah, do you want to eat in the streets of Jersey City? I guess that's fine. That's not for me. I would like to eat indoors where maybe air conditioning, where there isn't a bus next to me, where there isn't just street dirt. Come on. And in Hoboken announced plans. They are very busy in Hoboken for the new municipal complex. As soon as they can steal some property off this Poyogi printing. They also announced plans for the Yards redevelopment. Don't forget the new high school. That's still sitting out there somewhere. That'll be revisited soon. They'll bring that one back. Then you got the resiliency parks down by the Academy bus that they just purchased the land for. My question is, where is all the money coming from to do all this? For Hoboken, a town a little more than a mile square. Is affordability any kind of consideration? I kind of doubt it. Because there's lots of money involved in that municipal complex. The Yards redevelopment plan, you might have some private investment in that. The new high school, we went through that story a few months ago, 3-4 months ago. You know what that was going to cost you a year? All this. Who is paying for it? Oh, you know who's paying for it. You are, you people of Hoboken. Well, who will be left standing in Hoboken? Most of you are going to get the hell out of there. All right, we're at a show. You be good. You be safe. I'll talk to you next week. Good night.